What is up, guys? Today we're at the ARS Top 12 event. We're here with
Cameron Miller.
And what did you play?
I was Mannadium Scareclaw.
How'd you do?
Finished 2-2. Got eliminated off the top cut. Finished 8th of 12.
Not terrible, not terrible. All right, let's go ahead and get onto the deck. So how'd you feel about Mannadium Scareclaw? Why'd you choose this deck?
It was super convenient. It's brand new, so no one really knows how to actually sort of combo around it, try to play around things.
Gotcha.
The main line is very comfortable going first and second. It sets up negates and destroys and banishes things the whole time. So.
All right, let's go ahead and see this card. Let's go ahead and see all the Visas cards.
First, pretty standard is just 3 Bone Heart. By far the best monster of the deck. Reaches into everything.
Yep, it just summons itself for free control Mannadium or a 15/21 stat line.
Quick effect in the main phase too is huge.
Yeah.
If they try to take away your target, you can just chain to this and gain advantage out of it.
Crazy.
Yeah, 3 Meek. I think if you're going to play any of them at 3, Meek is the best one.
So what does this one do?
It is, if you control a 15/21 monster or an actual Visa Starfrost, special summon this card. You can only do it once per turn that way. Then if the card is destroyed by battle or card effects, special summon a different one. But then you can choose to make it level 2 or 4.
So it level modulates and it's a free body and it's a tuner. So all the 2s are the tuners, right?
That is true.
Gotcha.
The new one, the Torrid, is also the new one, which I don't have. I think with this next one, I'd probably end up playing 2 of this guy and 2 of the Torrid.
So you'd play 3 Meek, 2 Fearless, 2 Torrid.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The better lineup.
Gotcha.
This guy is practically the same effect, except instead of level changing, he is Synchro Monsters gain 500 attack in the battle phase.
Okay, so kind of a damage step effect, but not really.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little less viable for trying to get into extra deck stuff.
All right.
The free body, you can't really say.
You can't say no to the free bodies. Just free specials. Like you get to Link, you get to Synchro. It does everything, right? Playing 3 Visas.
It's very nice to not need to search him with the field spell.
That's fair.
It's very inconvenient to have to do it that way. All of the Mannadium cards are different besides Room Heart, so I mean you could just pop it, special summon him, go link 1 and do the Scareclaw stuff, which is next up.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you're breaking on too many tuners or not enough?
I would say it's not that I brick on them, it's that they do nothing on their own.
Gotcha. So you need to draw like
say
multiple
maybe
cards.
a couple of too many.
Gotcha.
It is nice that they special summon themselves when you have a 15/21 too, though.
Right.
And you can just make a link climbing play at the bare minimum. Next up, we have the other 15/21 of the deck, Scareclaw Brightheart.
Such a good card. Such a cool card.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
Use the 1 card combo. For the Tryhard, which is a card no one respects.
Yep. Nobody respects Tryhard. It's Baguska, it's 3,000 attack, it's so good.
It just sits on the field, which is everything. Borderline unaffected by everything.
Yep.
It'll strain the hand traps.
Sure.
Doing triple draw.
Droll in the main. How'd you feel about Droll in the main?
It did nothing to brand.
That's
definitely shut off purely though. It did okay against Sword Soul.
Yeah.
I think 3 was too much, but it is. What's nice about hand traps in this deck is the most inconvenient thing is you can just pop it with Visas and try and make a link climbing play off of it.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. You can just normal summon this and pop it with Visas. That's awesome.
The Mannadium spell card as well is just destroy any monster, so as long as it's normal summonable, you have the field spell at access.
Gotcha. So they're not always breaks.
Plus with Droll, it's just shutting off turns over and over. Next up, we have 2 Nibiru.
2 Nib. Okay. Any reason why 2?
I have Crossout.
Playing Crossout. Okay.
So I feel like playing 1 for just Crossout is such a gamble. It definitely turns off a lot of decks. It's hard to play around. I think he was smarter at 2. 1 would not be enough. 3 would make me brick on him way too often.
Yeah, because it's a hard-going second card. You really can't do anything with it going first, so...
Yeah, and you don't want to nib your own board in this deck.
Obviously.
You summon out.
Yeah. Alright, fair enough.
Same reasoning with the 2 Ash Blossoms. I think this would probably be safer at 3, but the hard once per turn clause is really inconvenient.
Yeah, I mean, it does just, it's annoying that, like, you know, if you draw multiples, like, sure, you can use it on this turn and the next turn, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah,
So.
I did happen to open both of them against Brandon, which was a good feeling.
Yeah.
I ended up losing that match, though.
Unfortunate.
It was, make Tryhard into Dark Ruler no more. Just immediately lose from there. So, finally going into the spells.
The planet, the one that got bought out.
The more underwhelming spell cards, or planet spell cards, I should say. I feel like a lot of the other ones are a little bit more convenient.
So they all do the same thing in terms of adding an archetypal card and then giving attack or defense or whatever. But what is the extra effect of this one?
So this one actually boosts light monsters.
Okay, so just lights in general.
But the tinier cards demand 15/21, and this modulates their attack.
Okay.
So on the field, he's no longer 15/21. It's for each.
It's kind of a nombo.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It's for each tuner you control and in your graveyard. So late game, you end up getting like 10 tuners in your graveyard. It's super convenient.
Right.
It's hard to try and jump around that effect. And then whenever a tuner is destroyed, you can target it and special summon it back to your field. It does not require it to hit the grave or anything like that, so even on your D-shifter, it's pretty useful.
Gotcha. So that's decent.
And then it just searches Vsauce too, which is pretty convenient.
Yeah, always. On 2 right. Okay.
I think the 2-2-2 ratio for the Scareclaw stuff is much better. I feel like 1-1-1 is just not
Not
worth playing at that point.
Because it is really nice to either hard open this and be able to do other stuff, or hard open the right card and be able to special it.
Yeah, I mean this with Visas is a great play.
It's crazy.
Just make Tryhard, and then on top of that, try and make the Mannadium plays.
Or Baron, or whatever.
Yeah. With the new, I guess it's not new, the new fusion card, Vicious Astrolabe. I mean, opening either of those field spells just kind of makes this card alive.
It's a crazy card. It's like a really good card for just being able to summon to the board.
Yep. Destroying a card, not once per turn, for summoning it or for popping anything, stealing half its attack. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
So we have triple Obsession.
Alright, what does this one do?
It is target any monster you control, so even a set card like a set Joel Mockbird, destroy it and add the Mannadium field spell. But if you already control this, you can add a Mannadium spell trap instead.
That's insane. I wish Scareclaw had something like that.
It is a very convenient card.
That's
Sadly, all of the Mannadium good cards are just monsters right now. I have one reframing as a target for it.
Now that's a crazy trap though. It's a counter trap and it has like some crazy effects. What does it do?
It is an Omni Negate for anything while you control a Synchro monster, basically Tyrannon's Crime, but for the Synchro versions.
Right.
And then in Grave, you can banish it, target 3 Mannadium cards, Mannadium monsters, shuffle them into your deck.
That's insane.
Kind of, it would have been nice if there was like a draw effect attached to that, but
Yeah.
essentially just like recurring your Mannadium Meeks, making sure you have enough Room Hearts to try and top deck, things like that.
Fair enough.
So my next project is
Last little Scareclaw card, 2 Arrivals.
Yeah. This card is crazy. It's non-once per turn reborn for a Scareclaw or a Visas. And then it also has a Phalanx-like replacement effect to protect from card destruction, which is
Tryhard.
yeah. It's like
Absolutely huge.
it gives your tryhard staying power if they're on, if they aren't on like something like Sprite Smashers or like Wing Blast that bounces it. This card lets your tryhard just stay on the field forever.
You just end up. In this deck, it's a great card to.
You just get to reborn Visas.
Combo, yeah. You try and bring back Visas, summon back the Link 1, the Light Hearts, and try and just make Appaloosa have a little bit more
Yeah.
interruptible power.
Crazy.
Here we have a huge list, just generic power cards, terraforming, reinforcements of the army.
One Tactics. How'd you feel about One Tactics?
I actually only own one, which is kind of why I
That's
have one. I feel like it's worth it. It's definitely... The drool is what kills this deck immediately, so if you drool them, you can steal a card from their hand and make it worse for them, too.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit more fair. So Instant Fusion. You're playing Instant Fusion. I believe you're playing the Millenniumizer Strix. That card is crazy.
In this list, I just don't have a way to do it very easily.
That's fair. Last three are the...
I guess I should also... Terraforming is kind of obvious, just add the field spell.
And the Heart monsters are all level 4 warriors, so Rhoda's really great.
Yeah, grabbing a rune card off of this is great.
Or a riot card if you want the extender, just anything. And then Call By is Called By.
Yeah, it's just generically very useful.
Yeah, any of the Visa stuff kind of does die to droll, so you kind of do want to draw. You want to draw the out. You want to draw the one of. Lastly, we got 3 cross out. Okay, yeah.
This card was huge until it really mattered, and then it was just useless.
Yeah.
I felt like I was going to see Droll in the event a lot more often than I ended up doing it.
Yeah.
I still had a ton of great targets. Terraforming is in a lot of decks right now. Reinforcements of the Army is in a deck similar to this one, or in the...
Visa, or Vanquish Soul.
Yeah. I was expecting to see that.
And you can always just stop like big stuff like tactics, thrust. Depending on what's in your sideboard, you can stop evenly matched and stuff like that. So it's a really good card.
It was a lot more useful than I think it gets credit for.
Yeah.
It's just the issue that it does nothing. It does nothing.
Yeah. All right, let's see the extra deck. So we already know the Millenniumize, and you're playing 2 Astrout, right? Or Astrolaud, yeah.
The first one is to combo when you're going first.
And the second one's Board Breaker.
Yeah, try to just bail yourself out for free. The end line is always Visa, Starfrost, and Rykart and Brave. So not even dedicating to any line, you can just Vicious and try and force some sort of interaction.
That's fair. Yeah, Vicious is a crazy card. There is it.
Synchro line. It can kind of fluctuate.
Triad starts Dispatch.
This will end up getting switched for the new Visa Synchro.
That's fair. The Aratama. Yeah.
I get my hands on it.
Gotcha.
Excel Stardust is to make this Potter.
Or Baron or Chaos Angel. Like, it's crazy because you do like you almost always have 2s in the graveyard to revive. So if you can go into it, it's just crazy.
Yeah, if you can Synchro 8, you can Synchro 10.
Yeah.
This is the only way to make the Dispotter in this list, though.
Oh yeah, because it's dragon. Yeah.
But this is just a great extender. It's a huge interruption.
Yeah. So do you feel like the Chaos Angel's like mandatory, or it's kind of just there? It's like the best. It's like the second best level 10.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I would say Baron's the mandatory. Chaos Angel is the one that's going to bail you out of a lot of situations.
Yeah, because sometimes you can just make this if you need another turn.
Yeah, so you can make it with Thesis as a level 6, and then either of the level 4s. Triage is a light level 6 as well, because he just doesn't technically require a tuner for his summon. You treat Rykart as the tuner.
Right.
And then on special summon, he just banishes something, which is such a great feeling.
It's just such a great effect.
It makes all of these unaffected by monster effects.
Yeah.
They can't be destroyed by battle.
Yeah. It's a crazy card. Chaos Angel is a crazy card.
The topping on the end board is trying to get Appaloosa, typically with 3 negates, which protects this from destruction.
Oh, yeah.
So unless they have a way to clear off both of these that isn't through battle, they just have to take the 3 monster negates before even Baron and Dispotter.
Yeah, because I'm assuming like if your board is Appaloosa, Chaos Angel, and they go evenly matched, you just keep the Appaloosa. Depending on the game, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, and then they just can't destroy it by battle. They have to take all the damage out of it.
Yep.
It hasn't come up yet, but the field spells also do increase her attack.
So it could reasonably get you another negate.
Yeah, it gets you up to 5 negates.
That's hilarious.
The package is a little bit bigger. We got 2 light hearts. I think 2 is really nice, because the search for a field spell is not once per turn.
Yeah.
But the summon back is once per duel, which is fair enough, it's a Link 1 monster.
Yeah.
I think it's great to try and dodge imperm that way. You have to use a monster in your main zone, but that's truthfully not that difficult to achieve.
Yeah, and the fact that like your deck relies so much more on Visas, the fact that you can do the summon back more frequently and then just link it off, it means you're almost always guaranteed to get to the right heart, which is always great. Because at that point, if you've got Visas, Tri Heart, or Light Heart on field, and you relink it, then you get to the right heart. You just get to special that for free, and then you can go into Tri Heart.
Yeah, if there's another monster in defense on the field too, you get a free draw.
Yeah.
If they have anything on the field, you can use the field spell to destroy their card.
Yeah.
I think it's very convenient. I wouldn't say it's mandatory to do that too, but it's definitely, I think, the smarter, safer play to do. Just skip ahead. I do have the one Tri Heart.
The 1-0. All right.
I typically would make this on my first board, but then I started to play this as more of like the secondary go-to boss.
Gotcha.
I mean, if they manage to play through everything you set up, this is just a great way to like stun them and try and stall out for a better play.
Yeah, like the funny thing is, Branded really doesn't have a good out to this. Like their out is like Dragoon, but
Super Poly.
for Super Poly, no, Dragoon doesn't even out it because it flips to defense and they can't pop it. So like,
and then it's only 2,500.
yeah,
defense.
Dragoon doesn't gain defense. So this card is kind of just an out to Branded, depending on what they're playing.
And the only hard requirement is, fair enough in my opinion, is just actually 3 monsters as well.
Yeah.
Instead of just 2+ monsters. I think it would be a little bit too easy to summon out that way. But
Yeah, you could use Cross Sheep and Vicious Astral out and all that stuff. But, yep,
Being with Cross Sheep.
such a good card.
I have never felt the need to play 2. I've never been in a situation where like the follow-up for my second turn is I want to see a second Cross Sheep on my field.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will come up eventually, but I just can't justify making this.
It's like the 1 in 100 games. It's like if you lose 1 in 100 games because you're not playing the second Cross Sheep, you just take that.
Exactly.
So
This is a great card though. Monster Reborn.
Monster Reborn gives your guys more attack if you synchro into it. Just it does so much. It does so much for the deck.
So we have kind of the choice bosses. I think everyone's playing Appaloosa in this deck. It's an incredible card. It's so convenient.
If you just got like Cross Sheep and then you've got the 2 in Graveyard, that just gives you Appaloosa with 3 negates.
Oh yeah.
So it just makes sense to play it. Like I don't know how you feel about it, but in the Scareclaw build that I play, like I just ended up cutting Access Code because I was like, there's no point to playing Access Code when Tri Heart's just better. So Appaloosa is the only Link 4 that I play.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely. I mean, I can't even think of like a hard restriction. Quite honestly, negating monster effects is so huge.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't destroy it, they just can't reactivate it 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Typically, you'd have the Cross Sheep in your main zone.
Yep. You banish Visas and one of the heart monsters for Vicious, and then you just get to Cross Sheep summon something back out.
Yeah, so it would end up being like this. Vicious, you banish out
Those 2.
Starfrost, summon back one of the little ones, make Baron there. And then this Potter summon out Visas.
Oh, that's hilarious. This is a level 8, so if you summon back at 2, you can make Baron. That's hilarious. Also, that's a dark, so you can make Chaos Angel.
Yeah, it is.
That's insane. That is so much better than I would have thought of.
You go this Potter, summon out the Visas from the banish pile. This guy summons out from grave.
And then you go those 3.
Or Link 4, whatever one's going to be better.
God, that's crazy.
But I think Blind Appaloosa is much more
Impactful, yeah. Last 2 cards here.
You just mentioned that you cut Access Code. I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you want to un-Scareclaw Tri-Heart yourself to try and make the...
Just push for game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, you typically have the second Astral out for free.
Yeah.
Destroy something and then just immediately go Link 4 there.
Yeah, like the advantage of this deck is like you're not playing the level 3 Scareclaw, so you're not boosting your Tri-Heart, but in this deck it does make sense.
Some lists do have that. I don't think it's a bad play, because Fearless is also an Earth monster, so playing like Acro allows you to make Naturia Beast.
Oh, that's
A lot of
hilarious.
people are not expecting outside
That's hilarious.
the Naturia deck.
I might have to do that. Alright, what's the last card in the extra?
It's probably the biggest flex spot in it.
Gotcha.
And I kind of just wanted something that outs a lot of decks.
Yep, Underworld Goddess. It's the way you get rid of Noir, really.
Yeah, there's that. There's the Arrival for the
Ignister, like Cyber's Pile, yeah.
If Branded lets you make that while they have Dragoon, it's a great way to get Dragoon off the field in this deck.
Yeah. Do you feel like you should have played like IP Masquerader or something with this, or did you not really feel like you missed it?
I had that in my first list going through, because I think IP and Cross Sheep is huge.
Yeah.
Other choice cards, like Max is a great boss to make on their turn.
Yeah.
Typically the line where you'd make Cross Sheep and you would choose to make IP instead is like the first time you make the Light Heart, and IP can't be made with non-link monsters.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of shutting off a lot more.
It's harder to make. The IP's harder to make.
Without throwing away like a Baron or a Despot, something you don't want to link away.
Gotcha. Let's go into the side deck. So I already see something that I like to see.
Yeah, a win in time, it actually stole a victory for me. No problem. Starlight.
Yeah, you just synchro summon it and does 800. That's all it does. That's the only spot it takes. But it is also level 6 for Chaos Angel if you want to do that. Yeah, it's level 6 dark, so it could come up reasonably.
I opened a very good hand to see this card. I ended up also making Tryhard, so they basically couldn't attack, and then it was Baron as well.
That's awesome.
Side deck. Revolving around one very specific spell card. It's kind of the one thing it didn't touch.
Book of Eclipse.
Very huge. I think it covers a lot of decks right now. Even if they trade off an Ash Blossom to stop it, I think it's worth it. It's a 1-for-1 card trade.
Yeah, it's a card that demands an answer. That's honestly what it is.
And in this deck, the line to make stuff is just going to destroy monsters left and right, so they're never going to flip something up if that's the worry for the drawing effect.
Gotcha. What else we got?
Built my whole list revolving around Triple Tactics Thrust.
Such a good card. Is there any reason you didn't want to main it?
I kind of felt like if I did, I'd have to play a main deck target, which out of all of them, I think the D-Barrier would be the safest.
Yeah, D-Barrier's crazy.
You kind of just set terraforming and hope it doesn't get destroyed.
Gotcha.
This was huge whenever they did draw me, because there's so many choices to search for in the main deck, especially when you're going second. Triple Tactics Talent is definitely the prime candidate.
Yeah.
But other going first targets, I think Waybridge is something no one's expecting right now.
Okay, I do not remember what this card does.
It's worse evenly matched, but a lot easier to play out.
That's fair. And you got a Floodgate, alright.
I was expecting to see Kashtira, and not a single player ended up playing it.
Which is very interesting. I think everyone was playing around Kashtira, so nobody ended up bringing it.
Yeah. Floodgate Trap is something no one is expecting, just flipping everything face down.
Yeah.
Big against Sword Soul.
Yeah, you just flip the guy and then they're stuck with the tuner on field.
Yeah.
They have a token. Yeah.
Ideally, they just can't summon anything from there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't know I did like that. Is there anything specific?
Going second targets, end up doing 3 evenly matched.
Yeah.
1 Dark Hole, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster.
Just all targets for thrust, really, right?
Basically, yeah. The Eclipse is for choice decks. Originally, I was 2 evenly and then 1 Dark Ruler, but even the Dark Ruler turns off no, so I just switched it to 3 evenly.
Yeah.
I think Harpies and the evenly matched is enough to deal with back row heavy decks. For the most part, Dark Hole is just good enough to where they have to respond to it. Yeah. Especially as the first card you activate. It's a way to get something like a Ibli off your field. Awesome. Sprite deck.
Awesome. Alright, well, awesome deck. Do you have any shoutouts?
Shout out my mom.
Shout out your mom. Aw. Alright, well, thanks for showing, bud.
Thank you for having me.